What up? What up? What's up, everybody? Today is October 6th, Friday. Um, this was week 9. We'll be jumping into last week. We gave Easy the homework of aiming for larger targets. So we'll jump in to see how he did with see how his emotions did, because I know when you start shooting for larger targets, you sometimes tend to get nervous because you see two green candles go up and then you see one fat red and then you start to get jittery or nervous, scared, kind of doubting yourself of, hey, it's not going to work out. um the major thing when you're shooting for bigger targets is to have a plan and stick to it. uh Earlier today, Easy told me, hey, that's my setup. Should I, I don't know if he was asking me if he should take it, but I said, hey, if that's your setup, take it. Because I seen
Yeah,
it I seen the setup and I said, yeah, that's your setup, take it. Um, whether whatever anybody else was saying, and he took it, I think he did.
yeah, I did.
How did that trade turn out?
Turn out a 7 point win, and then that's it.
Awesome. Awesome. And sometimes, you just that's why I kind of took baby steps with Lasagna Cat, and then I took baby steps with you, is because first we're working on your strategy, right? Not
Yeah.
worrying about how many points you're gonna catch, catching home runs, catching base hits. It's the first couple of weeks. It's not about how many targets or what target you can hit. Uh, it's like when you learn how to shoot a gun, right? You're gonna learn the mechanics of the gun before you before you go out to the shooting range to try to hit a bullseye. And then even before you hit a bullseye, you go you go how do you say it? You go sight your gun to your eyes, right? Because every gun, like if I were to take, like if Easy were to have a rifle and I took it and I shot it, the my aim is going to be off because that the iron sights or the scope is sighted to Easy's eyes. That goes the same thing with your strategy, and that goes for any strategy, right? You're gonna go sight it in or laser or tune it up to your specific trading style. And then once you tune it up to your trading style, then you go practice small range, right? You don't go to the shooting range and go for the 500-yard target because you could barely see it. You don't know how to compensate for the long range, right? So
For
you
the
start
bullet
at the
drop.
Yeah, exactly. So you start at the 25-yard line, 50-yard line, 100-yard line, and then you go shoot for the 500-yard line once you're confident, right? So you shoot 25-yard line, bullseye, 50-yard line, bullseye. 100 yards, you miss a couple, but then you keep practicing, then you hit the bullseye, and then you can go for the 500-yard range. Because most likely you'll hit the paper. You might not hit the bullseye, but you're gonna hit the paper, and that's where you're at right now. You're extending your targets because your strategy is laser, right? We figured that out. We figured out that you're a short player. We figured
Yeah.
out what your true what your true setup is, and then you start hitting it, right? Your win rate went from, I don't know, below 50% to
Yeah.
above 60-70%, which is awesome because if you can hit 60 to 70%, that means you're going to be profitable in trading no matter what. Because if there's professional traders out there that have 50% win rate, they're still winning, and you can still win if you follow your 2-to-1 ratio, right? Because you can lose, you can have 5 losing trades at $10 and have 5 winning trades at $20, and you'll be up $50, instead of being down. But that that's all totally up to the trader. And that's something that traders need to kind of realize, is that you need to pick a strategy tune it up. I wouldn't like honestly, I wouldn't be live trading until you tune it up and you feel comfortable with that strategy. If you don't have it tuned up, get ready to lose some money because you're going to get anxious and you're not going to be able to figure out how to put that emotional FOMO in check. So you're going to be fucking bouncing around like, oh, it's not gonna hit my target. I'm just gonna close out, and you're just gonna get eaten up by commissions, which you don't want. So that's why it's that process of okay, let's work on your strategy. Let's find a strategy if you don't have one. All right, and then let's tune it up. Show me. You don't even all you have to do the first couple of weeks is just take trades. I will take care of the rest. Where I'll tell you, where your better entries could be, what you could look for. Because as a new trader, you don't know what to look for, right? When you're new to guns, do you don't know whether to point at a head, point at the chest, or point somewhere. You don't. Most people would say, yeah, just point at the head, you're gonna hit them in the body.
Yeah, I was about to say that. I'm like,
But
if I'm in danger, I'll shoot at your head just in case.
but it just depends, right? You have to know what type of gun you have. Because if it's a shotgun, you're just gonna shoot everywhere, right? That's kind of like the shotgun is your first easy start with the shotgun. He fucking traded every fucking possible trade possible. So it was like spray and pray, right? Spray and pray.
Yeah,
Let me just start shooting it. And you don't want to be in
sometimes
that
I hit.
situation. You want to have a sniper rifle. You want to work up to a sniper rifle where you're just taking your optimal trade, your optimal shot. And guess what? One shot, one kill. You're going to fucking, just like today, easy, one shot, one
Mm-hmm.
kill. You took
Yeah.
one trade, you hit your goal, and you're done. That's what you want to get up to. You don't want to be like, I want to make 20 grand and I'm going to do it with two trades. It's like, it's kind of, it's good to have that optimism of like, yeah, you're going to get there, but let's work up to that. Don't be hoping and praying that you're just going to freaking get there in a month. And that's what some people kind of try to promise you to join their chat room. And that's not what I'm here for. I'm here to help you laser in and tune up your strategy. Um, and it usually takes a few weeks. It doesn't take 12 weeks, but I'm working on helping Easy tune up his strategy, laser it in, right? And then scale up. Because if you don't know how to scale up the right way, you're going to over leverage yourself and you're going to blow up your account.
Mm-hmm.
So there's two things that we corrected with Easy. His over trading corrected, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then we're slowly scaling them up. Like I said, you can always keep your same daily goal. And then some people are for daily goals, some people are not. For me, it works. It works because it gives me something to shoot for. I don't think of it as like pressure on me, like, oh, I need to make my daily goal. I don't think about it that way. It just gives you a goal, right? It's just like when you think about it, if you don't write down your goals, you're never going to work on your goals. But if you write them down and you see them in front of you every day and you take little baby steps, little accomplishments, you're going to get to your goal one day. But it's not about putting pressure, but it's about holding you accountable. And that's why we broke it down to daily goal. And then we broke it down so you can break it down to what you kind of want to shoot for on your daily trade, right? If you're shooting for $500 a day and you're taking 5 trades, then each trade should be about $100. But you're going to get used to the fact if you're catching 7 to 10 points where the first trade you're going to make $500. And you're going to be like, shit, I'm done. That's easy. That was like the easiest money ever. And with one trade, that's amazing. You know, I've gotten my daily goal where I can hit it down to 2 or 3 trades max. And that's what you want to try to achieve is, okay, let me take 2 trades and try to hit my goal. But We've added. Did you practice trail stop this week? Adding a trail
Yes, I
stop.
did. I did. I attached something with the indicator. If not, I was making sure that I hit a target before I start trailing my account.
Yeah, and that's probably the best thing to do, and that I found that works for me is hit my first target, have like 50% target, right? Like let's say your ultimate target's 10 points. So you're gonna lock in at 5 points. You're gonna lock in at 50 or 75%, you're gonna lock in half of your position or 70 or three-quarters of your position. And then you're just gonna let the rest ride to hit 10 points. But you put a trail stop to the 10 SMA if you want to keep it tight. If you, like right now, the trail stop at the 10 SMA is not tight, right? Especially on the 30-minute, it's kind of far.
Yeah.
So you would give some points back, but you can offset it. So you can put attach it to the 30, but I'd put it like 20 ticks up on the 30-minute. That's just an example. On the 5-minute, it's probably a lot closer. See, it's about to tag you out. But guess what? You almost caught the whole thing. You almost would have
Yeah.
caught the whole move. The only
Yeah.
reason why I have the 21 on here is because I use it for my trail stop sometimes. Is where all the it's like bouncing off the 10, right? The price action is bouncing off the 10. So I'll add it to the 21 because it's a little bit further away. And I'm willing to give that money back. I don't really I'll end green no matter what. And that's all that matters is ending green. You don't want to hit your first target and you don't put a trail stop and then you break even over here and you're like, fuck, I still got only $50, instead of saying, oh, I got $300. So that's why trail stops help to hit bigger moves. And then once you get used to catching bigger moves, remember what I told you, pay attention to the candles and how they develop, because you're going to start to see, okay, after my first target, the candles are smaller or the candles are bigger. That means I can stay in longer, right? So I want you to make that, be able to
That
see that.
association. Yeah.
Yeah. Associate that. Like right here, right? You hit your target right here, and then the candle started to get small. You're like, oh, fuck. Okay. What does that mean? Should I get out or should I stay in? But if you're like right here, you hit your target right here and it's full candles going up, you're like, okay, I could stay in. Right. So there's a difference. So pay attention to that because the market's going to do what it wants to do. There's market psychology and then there's retail psychology where they try to control the market, but there's no way retail traders are going to ever control the market. We don't have enough money, not even collectively. All the retail traders cannot match up to any money maker or market maker.
Yeah.
Um, Not only that, I know that they have high frequency trading machines and they're trading for 3 ticks, but those 3 ticks times 100,000 contracts or whatever amount of contracts they're trading will make them 250 grand. Where if we're trading one ES contract for 3 ticks, we're making like $35. And it's like it doesn't make sense because you're gonna get eaten up by commissions when commissions is around $12 per contract. Um, you're only gonna be making like $15 on ES, which is not a reasonable amount of money to be making, especially if you're gonna be stressing out for that amount of money. So I'm glad that Easy practiced his bigger targets. Hopefully he came out on top this week. I'm not sure how many trades he's taken this week. Hopefully you still have the same ratio win rate. So like that
Yes.
you can scale up next week. Because I know you didn't want to scale up because
I still
you're
don't want
you
to scale
you
up.
you were afraid. No, but I want you to get used to the amount of money you can make. So when you go to live trading and you're making that much amount of money, you're not gonna freak out or freeze.
Okay.
Uh, So I want you to see the potential that you can make. Because once you build up your account, fucking trade 4, 8, 10 contracts. So you can be like, shit, I'm making more here than I'm making at work. But I'm making what I'm making at work or more in an hour, in 30 minutes, in 20 minutes. See the power of futures. I know everybody wants to trade the stock market, and everybody's like, well, futures has a bunch of benefits. No PDT rule, right? If you can start with the small account, you can start with $400, $500, $600.
Yeah.
Um, and it's open 6 days a week. Sundays is a little slow, but what I say to any new futures trader is practice your strategy when it's slow. So like that, when it's fast, you can see it better. When it's slow, you can walk yourself through the whole trade. Yeah, it's a little boring because a 1 minute candle seems like it takes 5 minutes for it to close, especially in after hours. But if you can deal with the pain of watching paint dry in the after hours, it's only going to benefit you more in live hours or data when data comes out. So yeah, let's jump into it. Let's see what your trades look like and see if we can help you hit your target or your bigger targets even better.
Okay.
Share your screen whenever you're ready.
But yeah, it's true. Screen sharing, share screen. This will stop recording. Yes. Which screen? I think it's screen number 1.
Hey,
I don't
easy.
even know which screen. Yeah.
Before you do each recap, or like when you got the screenshot loaded, could you just let us know if it's an A, B, or C set, like A plus B or C?
Sure, of course. Yeah.
Awesome.
I
And then kind
will.
of like what makes it A, B, or C?
Okay, yeah. I will try my best. I mean,
Sure,
right
yeah.
now I'm a bit confused, like knowing that which one is my A, B. Oh no, okay, no, I know exactly which one's my A, B. Don't worry, don't worry.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm just not sure which screen to share right now because I'm confused. I think it's this screen. Which screen
Yeah,
do you see, guys?
and like no
Yeah,
pressure. It doesn't have to be perfect, just like a little bit of insight.
yeah, of course. You guys see my screen here?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. I'm not sure which screen you're seeing, but is it the
The
one that I'm
TOS.
moving
Yeah, the
the
TOS.
TRS?
Yeah.
Wait, I'm not sure that's the right one. What do you see
Sure.
now? Still
You're
TRS?
yeah.
Okay, perfect. Okay, that's
You're
the right
one
screen.
up.
Okay. So okay guys, so this week I didn't take many trades just because it's a short week. We have a holiday next week and I had payroll to do. Usually payroll is on every second Monday, but I had to do payroll this week and I had check run, so I was a bit busy. But I did try to take like 2 to 3 trades a day, and then I managed to achieve that. My goal this week that I had to work on was to take longer trade because somebody did mention that I was streaming my profit way too early, so I wasn't catching that much of the move. And then it is something that we did talk about, and I did realize it as well. So that's why I had that as a target this week, to let my play run, not to be overstressing and then just believing on the strategy. Because afterward, even when we're done the recaps, I was just checking my trades, and then I just realized that because I just hold it longer, I just have to believe more in my trades. So this is my first trade right here. This trade was taken on the I entered on the 1 minute, but it was on the 30-minute, this trade. So this is my my B setup. Yeah, there you go. That's my B setup. So on my B setup, I know you can't clearly see it here, but what happened is that the cross was on the bearish side. So we had the 50, which was over the 10 SMA. So whenever price action tag the 50, the 10 SMA, sorry, yeah, the 10 SMA or the 50, it has to come down. So that's what I was trying to time this week. And I even took that trade very late on my time zone. Stock market open at 9:30. but then I only took the trade around 11:15. So I had to be much more patient on that trade. I'm gonna show you what it looks like on the other one. So this is the trade. I did make 2 attempts of it. Like I said, I was trying to time the 30 minutes. So that's what right now I know this might look bullish, but on the 30 minute, it was bearish. So I was trying to time it on the 30 minute. I tried my first entry here. I see that it didn't work out. All right. Semper, I don't know if you can tell me anything about my entry. On this one, I entered on this, I entered in this candle, actually. Yeah, I entered in this candle, the same amount of contract. And then I did trim down a bit because I wasn't certain that once it hit that 30 minute, if it was going to come down. But as you can see, this trade fell. I'm telling you guys right away. So it's on the second try that it did work out. I noticed that it was doing my B setup. Like you have a little dip and then the pullback, my pullback high right here. And then this is where I entered. And that trade, I was able to capture it from 43.32 all the way down to 43.25. And then I closed the rest at 43.21. That was one of the biggest trade that I had this week. Like that was just, and also that was on the first day, starting on Monday. So yeah, whenever I see this setup, a dip down and then the pullback high, I'm getting ready to tackle. I may, of course, try to see if I have a bearish crush on the MACD, what's happening on the RSI. But most of the time right now, I'm conditioning myself to just take that trade whenever I see it.
There's a few things. This big green candle right here, and just the way that the candles went into that candle, it's strong candle. Oops. It's a strong candle. All this other stuff was bullish. This was above the 52, right? Volume.
Yeah.
Volume still. Shoot, what happened? Volume was still bullish. Why is it not drawing? Volume was still bullish there. So I would have said weighted, just especially because of that big green candle. You're like, oh shit. And then you got to talk to yourself. What is it most likely to do with the moving average, especially since it's crossing? See how it's crossing above it? So if it's crossing the moving average, what's the most logical step it's going to take? It's going to take a pullback to the 10 SMA or the closest moving average, and then squeeze one more time to get to the 666. Because this is your.
Yeah, that's my 666.
What's the blue one?
The blue one is my 100.
And the red is a 200?
My red is the 50.
You don't have a 200? Oh yeah, it's a purple one.
200 is right here. Yeah, that purple right below.
So you got to think to yourself, price action shied 666, right? So when it shies something, what does price action like to do?
When it shies it, that means it's pulling it down, but it's gonna go down, like you said, to gain strength and then burst through it.
Yeah. So when price action shies a fib level, a fair value gap, a trend level, whatever kind of level it is, right? It's just saying that it doesn't have enough strength, especially on the first attempt. On the first attempt, it usually shies it, and then it'll pull back to a reasonable point.
Yeah.
And then it's gonna squeeze back up, tag it, right? So now it tags the 666. So now what? So right here, this is losing strength, right? Even though it had a big green candle, it's getting like no big green candles again. See, like right here, it had one big red, and then it started slowly getting bigger greens. Over here, we had one red, nothing bigger red, small green candles, They're not big. They're not getting bigger. And this is This is your first signal. That's a bearish engulfing, right?
Yeah.
So then
Yeah.
you look
Oh, yeah.
down,
It's
you
true. I
look,
didn't notice that.
you go down, and then you start seeing, okay, the MACD is closing in. It's closing in. Okay, you just wait for it. That's where you got to look at the MACD and just wait. And you're like, okay, lower highs on the RSI. It's over hot right here. So
Mhm.
once it goes over hot and it's over here hitting a big moving average like 666, you should expect a pullback. Not only just a pullback like this pullback, a bigger pullback. Because everything is looking bearish. MACD, RSI, even red volume is, look at, we got a red volume beat right there off of this one before it.
Yeah. Mhm.
So now once it has resistance right here, this big red candle right there, you should have been, oh, okay, that's a nice looking selling pressure right there. High selling pressure. Then you get the lower high still right here. So at this point right here, you're telling yourself, I want to see a pullback to the 50 RSI. So that should be your first target. The 50 RSI. What does it line up with? What when you're over here, you kind of just guesstimate. Okay, it
Yeah.
lines up with the 50 SMA or lines up with the 100 EMA, whatever you think, whatever it's closest to. Because it's going to be calibrated to one of them. So then you start seeing that, and then you get a lower high. You get a lower high right here. Starts creating. Well, you get that one, right? You get that one,
Yeah.
and
Mhm.
then you got your B setup right here. Is it your B or is it your?
Yeah, that's my B setup. That little.
That's your B setup on the 1 minute, but you said it was your B setup on the 30 minute.
Yes, exact. No, actually, no, it wasn't my B setup on the 30 minute. 30 minute was my A setup, but it's my B setup on the 1 minute.
Yeah. So you're.
It's a B setup on the 1 minute because the 10 is above the 50, right?
That's
Yep.
exact.
Yep.
Yeah, that's correct.
Yep.
All right,
And
awesome.
I'm anticipating the cross right here. That's why I got in, anticipating that it's going to cross.
Sure. Okay.
Yeah. So for this one, you got in good candle right there. Good. But you're telling yourself, looking like this one, it looks like it lined up with maybe like the fit. What is this, the red one again? I keep fucking
The red
forgetting.
is my 50.
Yeah, you're 50. So
Mhm.
once it breaks the 10, your target is the 50 SMA. And then
Correct.
look at the RSI. If the RSI breaks the 50 and doesn't bounce the 50 to keep going down, then that's going to
Mhm.
say continuation down, right? Because it didn't bounce right here. Because it can still be bullish and go this way. But look at the 50 SMA, what the RSI did. It just busted through.
Okay.
It busted through the RSI. And then look, you start selling pressure coming in. Seller beat. This green candle right here could not beat this red candle.
Mhm.
So that's telling you it's going to go down to the next moving average, which is 100. If it makes it to the 100, if it busts through the 100, it's going to go to the 200. But this is going to hit the 200. And since the moving averages are still kind of sloping up, other than the 10, it's probably coming down to grab the 200 and pull it up. So you can go like this, right? And then the 666 is going to go like this, and then it's going to cross, and then it's going to reverse long.
Yeah.
But yeah, just pay attention because look, pay attention to the MACD and the RSI because they were bullish as heck when you got in
Yeah.
on your first trade.
So that entry, okay, so that entry was bad because MACD and RSI wasn't agreeing with resistance or
Yep.
wasn't agreeing with my resistance or
But
my strategy.
remember a few weeks ago, I said the
Mhm.
further price action gets away from the 10 SMA, the harder it's going to be for it to
To loop it.
loop it or to smash through it, right?
Okay.
So if you see this distance right here, and then look at this
Yeah.
distance, This distance got closer. Like
Okay.
there's no way unless it was data right here. There's no way that this price action right here would have cracked it. There's no way. I mean, there is, but
Yeah.
it's going to
Okay.
be a lot harder for price action to bust through it. But look at when it gets closer to the 10, it's so easy. It busts through it right there. Because
Yeah.
it's still above the 10, above the 10. It's getting closer. And then you see the 10 flattening out up here. You see it flatten out on this candle?
Mm-hmm.
Get ready because the next candle might break it. And then just wait. Okay. It broke the 10 SMA. Now let me wait for a lower high off the 10 SMA and wait for an entry.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. All right.
So
I'm
just
seeing that
like,
now. So the slope of the moving average.
yep. Yep. Like see right here on this candle, all this
Mhm.
selling pressure right here made it force it kind of to point down. You can see it right in between these two candles. See how it pointed down right here?
Yeah.
Right there. It kind of started
I
pointing
see.
down. But yeah, just keep an eye on this type of entry if you're going short because it's gonna be harder for price action to bust through the 10 SMA right there. And sometimes you'll get this and it'll bounce up and squeeze up. That's a scam.
Yeah.
That's what you call a scam. But this is not a scam. Because why? It's far away from the 10 SMA, pulling back to the 10 SMA, holding the SMA, and then you see this buying pressure right here.
Yeah.
And then took it. All these buyers that were in here probably bought this candle up, caused that, and then the sellers were taking control right here, took profit, caused that pop,
Mhm.
and then continue going.
All right. Yeah.
But
Okay. To remember the slope.
good recovery because
Mhm.
most people could not either take this trade and then get in and be able to take it again. So that's a good reset lesson. You know, you're able to reset pretty quick.
Yeah.
And
But
that's what you
all.
want to do. That's what you want to do is keep your stops tight
Mhm.
so you're able to reset quickly. If you don't keep your stops tight, then you're gonna take a bigger loss and you're gonna be revenge trading after that, which is not good. This is gonna fuck up your trader mindset because you're like, fuck, I gotta make that money back. I gotta make that money back.
Mm.
But
Okay.
yeah.
All right. So got it for this one. But yeah, yeah, that's I mean, this thing I knew, but I did forget like the slope of the moving average. Yeah, it's really something I need to try to
And
remember while I'm in a trade.
yeah, and this is pretty, and it's a lot, because you're looking at the moving averages, you're looking at
Mm,
volume, you're looking at our side. So, but create a system. Create a system. Okay, I see this. Okay, what do I look at next? Like my system is okay. I want to see a pullback. Okay, now I want to see MACD create lower highs. I want to see a volume beat right here.
mhm.
Because the way that I have it is, I see something on the chart up here, which whether it's a moving average or whatever indicator or trend line, weekly trend line, daily trend line, and price action is coming up to it. Let's say the level is up here. Price action is moving up to it, and then I'll be like, okay, it's coming up to my level. Okay, it looks like it's closing in. It's looking bearish. Okay, it hit my trend line. It rejected it. What does RSI look like? Okay, it looks like it's diverging, so it might be a short play. But you're walking yourself to that target, right?
Yeah.
Because if my level would have been up here and this candle right here would have closed above it, then you're thinking, okay, it might continue going long, even though it looks like this. And then you're like, okay, I'm waiting for a reset. If it closes above there, I'm waiting for a pullback to the 50 RSI and create higher lows for another leg up. But yeah, you
All
want to
right.
talk yourself through that trade. a little more. And like I said, oh,
Yeah.
you're like, oh, the price action's a little far from the 10 SMA. This might not be an optimal entry short. Let me wait until it gets a little bit closer.
Okay, perfect. Yeah. I get those two for sure.
And you got 10 points, almost 11 points, it looks like.
Yeah.
From 32.75 to 21. That's 11 points, 75. And you locked in 75 or 50% right at a good target.
Yeah, 75. That's what I was working on. I wanted to close. I wanted to lock in some profit when it hit the target. Like
Yeah.
before, I was just trimming, and then I only have one left, and then I'll let it hit the target. So
Yep.
that's what I've been working on.
So like you hit right here, you could have attached it to the red one or even this 10 SMA. So like that when price action hit right there, oh, you're out, you're happy.
Okay.
But you can have another target over here. That's what I usually do, right? I have a target at the 200 or
Yeah.
one tick above, and then I put a trail stop. So like that, I lock in my green no matter what.
All right.
I've got a bit of an observation here. So on the first trade attempt, Semper noted that it's the distance between the price action and 10 SMA. If it's too far, then it's probably not going to smash through. It'll most likely get support and go up. I noticed that far distance matched up with RSI going in conjunction with price action. However, though, up here where the great entry was, where it's close to the 10 SMA, that coincided with down here RSI divergence. So it's just something I'm noticing on this for the first time, but it's that relationship with the 10 SMA could, you see what I'm saying? It's like this is going the same pattern as this RSI, and up here for the second trade, yeah,
Okay.
with
Yeah,
the
you see the divergence there on the second one.
exactly, and that price action on the second one is very close to 10 SMA. The first one, it's far from the 10 SMA, and there's no divergence, so that might be a thing.
Okay. All
Yeah,
right.
definitely divergence is a thing.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Good.
Always look for that divergence. It will always tell you a move ahead of time.
That was on the second. No. So that was the first trade was the trade on Monday. On the second, on the Tuesday, I didn't take any trade. Again, I'm way too busy with work. So on Wednesday, which was the 4th, the 4th. What is this one? That's the 5th. I need the proper date because I'm trying to set them. What, October 5th? Why did they all say the 5th? Right. I think I can close this one. Oh no, okay, no, that's the 4th. Yeah, October 4th. So October 4th, I just need to find which one matches with it. That's October 5th. Hurry up, that's October 4th. Oh, okay, it was small down there. There you go. So that's another trade that I took on the 5th. That's for the 1 5 minute. So this is my A setup on the 5 minute. Yeah, so again, we have the bearish cross right here. I was just being patient, just waiting on price to go back to the 50 SMA so that I can short it. I should have a 1 minute. I just don't know where it is. How's my 1 minute? Wait, right now that's what it looks like. I'm just damn it, I should have a 1 minute. Second. The 4th 1 5 minute. No, okay, I don't see it. No, I should have had a 1 minute. I don't know why I put my 1 minute for October 4th. Oh yeah, there you go. Here it is. Phew, found it. Okay, yeah. So yeah, this is how it looks like on the 1 minute, that trade that I took for the 5 minute. Again, that was my A setup on the 5 minute. On the 1 minute, this is how it looks like. Based on my entry. Again, I was just being patient, even though it went over. I was being patient. I see the 200 was there. I was waiting to get some resistance. And then as soon as I get it, I entered it. Yeah, I entered it right here on that candle, on that second red candle. So which means my stop was right here, the previous candle, like Semper said. And then I was able to follow this trade down. My target was the 50 SMA. It did hit it. And then my second target was the 666, which it hit as well. But that was a 5-point trade. Yeah. Yeah. 5-point trade.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, this was a picture perfect setup for you because that's like your A grade setup.
Yeah.
And you entered it like perfect timing. I don't see anything wrong with this one. It's lower highs all the way down. Um, the only thing that might have been concerning is these lower highs. But see how these moving averages up here are still sloped down. They're still sloping down, both of these. So they're still sloping down. That says that there might be continuation down because the 200 needs to come down. And this is probably what it did. It grabbed the 200 and it's pulling it down this way. Because the 200 is going to go this way, all the way down to the 666 and get that cross. But awesome play. Good targets because you want to take it in steps, just like we've, it hits this level. Okay, where's it going to go? It's going to go to the 100. Okay, it breaks that level. Where's it going to go? 50. And if it breaks the 50 right here, the next level is the 666. So, yeah, I would have put a fishing order out right here and maybe attach one to the 50 SMA. You might have given some back. But still,
But so
look,
far,
you got out right here, so you probably would have got out where you first exit was.
okay, I just wanted to say, even though I'm running 4 contracts, I find that not that I find that I always lock 3 out of 4 and then just let one ride. I don't know if you want me to lock in 50% instead of 75%.
No, that's good.
Okay, perfect.
No, that's good. Whatever, you got to be happy with what you're gonna make, right? Because the 3 contracts at the 50 SMA probably netted you, $400 or $500, and then that last contract probably did an extra $100.
Yeah.
Right. So you're not gonna give back $500 back on a move back up.
Okay, perfect. Then that's the mentality I had because my daily target is 500. If I can make 500 in one trade, then I just let the other one ride for extra.
Yeah, definitely. This next week, I want you to move up your daily goal to like $800 or $600. But ultimately, you want to up that because remember, you're gonna increase your contracts, which is gonna make it super easy to hit your $500 goal. You want to kind of push yourself.
Okay.
Because if you can hit 500 on one trade, it's easy. You can do that all day. But I want you to get used to making $1,000 a day on 8 contracts. And you'll be working yourself up. And when you go live, when we go live, you're gonna go back. You're not gonna start off with 8. You're gonna go, you're gonna go back to 2.
I can't.
You're gonna go back down to 2 or 1, whatever it is, right? You're
I
gonna
like
go
2.
back
2
down.
sounds good for me.
2 is good because you can lock one in at your first target and let the last one ride.
Correct.
So, but get used to doing that. Hit your first target, lock in 50. I usually lock in 75%. If I have 8 contracts, I'll lock in 6. If I have 10 contracts, I'll lock in 7.
Okay. Okay, perfect. That was this trade.
No, that was an awesome trade.
Yeah, that was a good one, easy. And so on that one, it was A plus on the 5 minute, and it was good price action on the 1 minute. And
Yeah.
was it on the 30? Was it 10 under 50 on the 30 minute?
The 30-minute was still bearish. Like all week,
Yeah.
the 30-minute was bearish. So
Yeah.
I had that going on my favor.
All right. Do you ever use your setups if the 30 minute isn't bearish, or do you always wait?
Yeah, I do. Yeah, I do. Even if it's well, I do, but I will do it only on the 5 minute though. If
Yeah.
20-minute is bullish, I have to wait for the 5 minute to be bearish for me to play it.
Uh-huh. All right. Cool.
That's it. I mean, yeah, I'll get more points doing that. If not on the 1 minute, I'll just be scalping like 2 to 3 points, which is in this case, like you guys said today, which is waste, like it's fees that I'm just paying for nothing.
Yeah, totally. That makes sense. Cool.
So I'm gonna close this one. That was the 4th, and then on the 5th was
Oh, easy. By the way,
yes.
that helps me out a lot because sometimes on bearish days I reach for too high targets going long, and I think if I follow your system for that, it'll probably save me on bearish days. You know what I
Well,
mean?
yeah, I mean that's coming from Semper. Semper told me, when the day is not in your favor,
Yeah.
aim for like 3-4 points, something like that. And then on
Yep.
the day that it goes in your favor, this is when you can go 7 to 10 points, which is
Yep.
like I said, all week the chart is bearish. So
And that 30
That's
minute
why I was
indicator is a good simple way to just like let you know what it is, like just like a binary.
exactly
Awesome.
correct.
yeah. When you're counter trend trading, you want to scale down your targets. So just remember that. Keep that in the back of your head because when you do your daily analysis or your morning analysis, you'll be okay. What does it look like? And remember, you got to keep to the routine of doing your own TA and then reading the daily notes to see if it confirm or conflict. Sometimes when Brandon puts out the recap at the end of the day, you want to watch that video to mark out your lines and then do your TA in the morning. So like that, you're already thinking like Brandon is, right?
Mm-hmm.
You're thinking like him, or since you're more of a short player and Brandon's more of a long player, you guys will sometimes conflict, and that's okay because you guys, like I always say, you guys can both be right. You can be short, go short, it dips to rip, and he's right because it was ultimately a long play. But you caught
Correct.
your dip. You caught your dip, which is all you wanted. And I like the fact that you're using a longer time frame so you can kind of say, okay, this is a counter trend trade, or this is trend trading. Am I trading with trade? Okay, I should be able to hit 10 points or 15
Yeah.
points, whatever it is. And if I'm counter trend trading, then okay, I'm gonna scale down, 4 to 6 points, 3 to 5 points. But don't get tunnel vision. That's something that I didn't notice
Mm-hmm.
on in your trading strategy is I haven't seen you tunnel vision, which is good. The
What
thing,
do you mean?
well, tunnel vision is you get locked into the 1 minute, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it looks bullish on there, but the 5 and the 30 minute look bearish, and you went long. I probably seen it
Okay.
on your first week or two because you're trying to trade both sides.
Yeah.
But you want to be able to tell the difference and be able to trade with trend and also be able to trade against a trend. But remember, keeping that scalper mindset
Mm-hmm.
or trading with the trend mindset.
Exactly. Just real quick, I have this one. It's not a trade that I wanted to show, but just real quick, this one I took it on the 15 minute. I just wanted to show you lasagna cat. So this is the 15 minute. Again, this is my A setup. I was just waiting for it, but then on the 15 minute it happened. So right here, and then I took that trade there. Like it's a little bit tricky. That was the first time I was taking that trade. And then I was like, oh, this might be a good trade we can talk about. But I just wanted to show it to you that on my setup, my A setup, it works so far on all the time frames. Like when you're being very careful, it does work on all the time frame.
Yeah.
I took it right here. I think I have the 1 minute as well.
The thing
Which
that we
is-
gotta practice with you, Easy, is
Yeah.
the timing. Like you see it in the 30-minute ahead of time, but we need to get
Mhm.
you to trade the 5 or the 1 minute, the right
Yeah.
one.
But on this one, okay, then in that case, my question, would it be on the 1 or do I also need to check the 5? Because right now, let's say I see it on the 15 minute, it's my A setup. The only thing I worry about is what's happening on the 1 minute instead of checking what's happening on the 5 or on the other ones.
Take it in steps.
Getting steps, okay, no problem.
Take it in steps, because the thing that I've noticed is sometimes the 5 or the 15 and the 30-minute, they're aligned
Mhm.
together, right? So they're say the 5, 10 or the 5, 15 and 30, they're all bearish. But the 1 minute looks bullish as heck.
Yeah.
But the other three look bearish, so you know that the 1 minute is about to top out. So you just gotta wait for that top out.
Okay.
Wait
So
for
the
the
1 minute
candles.
is about to top out.
Yeah.
Okay.
And you'll probably start to see the divergence in the 1 minute.
Mm-hmm.
Once you
Yeah.
start to see the divergence on the 1 minute, then it's probably time to get in, because
Okay.
it's gonna play out to the 5 and the 30 or the 15-minute chart.
Okay.
Hopefully
Perfect.
that
Okay.
helps.
Yeah, no, it does help. It does help. Because that's what I think that's what I noticed as well this week when I was playing the 15 minute. It's just that yes, the 15 is bearish, but the 5 minute was bullish and the 1 minute was bullish. So therefore, that's when it creates that divergence going up and down, but it's making lower high though on the other hand. That's what, yeah, it's making lower high on the 1 minute, but on the 15 minute, it's like, well, it has 15 minutes to play out. That's anyway, it's still a bit confusing. I'm trying to look at it better. But yeah, definitely a play that I'd like to take whenever I can, especially if it's my A setup. So, and now I have my last trade, which was yesterday. Yesterday was the 5th. Yeah, yesterday was the 5th. So it's this one. 1:15, 1, 5, 15, 30. So okay. So it was my setup on the 1, 5, 15, and 30 minute. Let me just make sure that I have my 1 minute. 1, 5. Just a second. Yeah, okay. So it's this trade. So yeah, again, that was my setup on the one. Yeah, my setup showed up on all time frame. So on this one, yeah, I just had to take it. That's it. I just had to take it.
Yeah.
I had my cross, but on the 1 minute, it was still bullish. I was anticipating it. So that's like my B setup on the 1 minute right here. So
Yep.
we have that dip, and then I was waiting for it, let's say, to go back up to my pullback high, but then price action kept going down. Like I see there was sellers there. Like I had conviction on sellers, and then price was also closing below the 50 SMA. So after that big red candle, I had conviction that if price action stay below it, then I'll enter short. So that's what I did, and then it pretty much worked out.
Nice. The only thing that I see would have been a better entry would have been down here at the break of the 50, just to be certain that you're gonna get your play, right? Because you could have put a stop above here, above the 10 SMA, and
Mhm.
even if you came back over here, you still would have caught it and caught this.
Yeah.
Because this is your optimal, because you want to obviously when this candle, the 10 is already closing in, and look how steep it is. It's really steep down. Instead of just being like sloping down like this, it's steep, almost like straight down.
Mhm. Is tip good or bad to get in?
If you're going short, it's good for you.
Okay.
If you're going long, then it's totally bad for you.
Okay.
The only other place would have been your B grade setup, which had been right here. You would have caught a
Yeah.
little bit more points.
Yeah.
Because
But on this one, it's because I missed it. Honestly, I
no,
missed it.
no, that's fine. That's fine. If you miss it, you know that you can still get in. Because this is the first leg pullback right here. You know, you could have put your stop right there, or if you had a cushion, I would have put my stop up here. And that's something that you need to also practice is, okay, my first trade gave me 3/4 of my daily goal, right? So let's say your daily goal is $500, but your first trade gave you $300, and your stop loss is usually like, let's just roughly just say $100.
Mhm.
With that cushion, it'll allow you to move it up a little bit. Let's say maybe give you an extra $100 of the 300 you just won. So okay, you can put it up here just to let the play out. Give you a little bit more buffer. And that's something that I've learned with Brandon is when he has a cushion, he'll let it drop a little bit more, but he'll start to average down as well.
Mhm.
For you, let's not average down because that can turn a situation from bad to worse.
Yeah, I will not.
That's something that's a little bit more advanced because you need a trust. You really need to trust your setup.
Okay.
And I wouldn't recommend it for any newbie to average down because I've been there where you're like, okay, I'm down 10 points. But if I add another 2 or 3 contracts, it'll bring my average down and I just need 5 points up. And then those 5 points up never come.
Yeah.
And you're next thing you know, you're down 15 points with 3 contracts, which is not what your plan was. So don't do it if you're a newbie. Don't average
Yeah,
down.
I will not. Mhm.
Cool. You got a good
So
trade.
yeah, that was that trade that day. And I think that's it, if I'm not mistaken, on the 5th.
Awesome.
Yeah,
Does that
that's
mean
it.
you
That
hit?
was
Does that mean you hit your weekly goal?
well, yeah, like I said, I was averaging 12 to $1,600 every day this week. And that's like in 3 trades, like 2 to 3 trades.
Yep.
And one trade I met the target, and then the second trade was just me practicing, and the third trade was me being greedy, I'll say, if anything. But
That's where
yeah,
you want to be. You want to be in that sweet spot, right? Where you have a
yeah,
max trade of 4 or 5 trades, but you're
Mhm.
hitting your daily goal in 2 to 3. That's
Yeah,
the sweet spot. I've noticed that when I can hit my daily goal in 2 to 3 trades, I'm ecstatic and I can just shut down the
the
platform.
computer. Yeah,
Mhm.
that's good. That's exactly what I want.
And that right there will build consistency when you can hit your daily goal. I know, like I said earlier, most people or most traders don't like a daily goal because they feel like they put pressure on you. Do you feel that way? Do you?
No, but it's more so far. I'm more working on the strategy, like
Yep.
just because like I said, I do hide my PNL not to look at it because I know
Yep.
this will stress me or get over my
Yep.
head.
Yep.
So yeah, I'm just looking at. I just want 3 points. If I can get 3 points, that's good. So I know 3 points. My target is met with the 4 contracts that I'm running.
Yep.
And yeah, sell 75%. Just let one ride. And most of the time, my first trade is $800. So with $800, that's more than my target. I'm happy
Yep.
about it.
Awesome. Because you don't want to be like if the next participant in this series, if they feel the pressure of the daily goal, Lasagna Cat, you can jump in too because I don't know if that put more pressure on you as well. Because hitting your daily goal is just a cherry on top,
You know,
right? You
It's
just
a guideline.
exactly. It's like a guideline. Like the reason why I created the daily goal is what I told myself. It was to build my confidence. It was okay. I could hit my daily goal 4 days out of 5. I'm that means my strategy is pretty solid, right? If I can't hit my daily goal, then I need to fine tune something, whether it's scaling up or hitting my targets a little bit better. It's like a tool to kind of help you tune up your strategy. Is how
yeah.
I used it. Is okay if I can't hit my daily goal not one time out of the whole week, then my strategy might be way off. But if I can hit 4 out of 5 or 5 out of 5 days, I can hit my daily goal. Guess what? I have more confidence in my strategy.
Mm.
And that just helped
Yeah.
me with my confidence level. And that's why I kind of kept it there. I know Brandon at first he was against it, or to have a daily goal, but that's just it depends on the trader. And it
But
totally depends.
can I say something there on this
Yeah.
one?
Yeah.
I think on this one I'll lean more toward Brendan, because like I said, I hide my PNL not to stress me. I wasn't looking at my daily goal, and then I'm not focusing on it. The only thing I'm focusing on is the technique. I want to get in the good entry, and then I want to have a good exit. That's it. And then at the end of the day, when I look at my PNL, I made $300, I made $400. Like it's already, it's already to me a big achievement. Like you said, the cherry on the top is if you meet your daily goal, or even you surpass it. But honestly, I think one day this week, maybe on Tuesday, I know that I made money. I didn't know how much I made, because after reaching my trades, I just closed the software, and I couldn't tell myself how much money did I make today. I don't even know, but I know it worked.
Yeah.
That's that.
Yeah, we'll all get there where we're putting orders out, fishing orders out at targets, or if Brandon's going short, then we know his target. Okay, then that since I'm a long player, then that might be my time to get in for a pop, for a counter trend, depending on what it is, right? But that's only if I see my setup. If I don't see my setup, I'm not taking that trade.
Yeah. That's it.
Awesome week. So how many trades did you end up taking, and how many were green and how many were red?
I was taking 3 trades a day, and then on Monday I had one red trade. Like I said, that when I was trying to time that top on the 20-minute, and then I couldn't.
Don't try to time. Don't try to time.
No, I mean, well, yeah, not time, but I was trying to get a good entry. That's what I meant. A good entry. But yeah, that's it. But if not every day I was green.
Perfect. So we've succeeded in extending your targets, which is awesome. Good job.
Yeah,
that's awesome job.
But also something that I noticed, in order to extend my target, I most of the time have to attach the my stop loss, whatever, to an indicator. Because if it's me waiting for it, it just takes forever, and then
and then you start to get impatient, and then you're like, fuck it, I gotta lock it in. And that's kind of what I do in the morning when I'm getting my kids ready. Is like, okay, I hit my first target, now I can go do whatever I gotta do, and I put my second target. Sometimes I'll make it unrealistic. Sometimes I'll look for a liquidity sweep, or like one of these areas where I know that price action might go to, which is okay. Say I got in right here. There's 2 spots in this leg that price action can go to. Price action can go to this little lower high and this one. And this is strictly price action, not moving average. And look, if I was just a price action trader and I got in right here, I got in right there, I know my first target might be right here. This is more like a speed bump where, okay, it might have a hiccup. And look at the first candle almost shot up to that area, right? And then the second thing is right here. So once it crosses that, the next part is right here. And you're just looking back. You're looking back to where there's possible spots where it might stop going up. And then if it gets past this, it's gonna squeeze. Look at what happens. Squeeze. So yeah, just look back. Like sometimes when there's no moving averages, say there's no moving averages, your price action was way down here, and there's no moving averages. Just look for these little lower highs if you're going short.
That's that's key. Try to
Yeah.
see a lower high. I do pay
Yeah.
attention to that one.
That's where your target can be. And this one's stronger than this one because there was a lot of sellers right there. And this is mono. Look at the two candles. Which one would you rather shoot for? This one or this one?
The other one.
You rather shoot for this one, but just realize that this might be a little speed bump.
Tougher. Yeah.
If it gets past this and price action did right here with this candle, then you know it's gonna go here. And eventually it does right here.
Mhm.
Or with these two right here. But yeah, awesome week, awesome trade, and now let's scale you up so you can see
Yeah.
what the big boys do.
Uh, uh, so what does that mean? Like, do I have to increase my contract for next week or
Yeah.
a longer target? What am I doing?
No, increase your contract size. Remember, you first want to increase your contract size and
Mhm.
keep your target the same. Once you hit the same target 5 times, then you want to get further. Just like it's just shooting range, right? Remember, you hit your bullseye 5 times. Okay, let me take it to the 500-yard range. Now let me try to hit right there. Okay, I hit 2 out of 3. Okay, I'll stay there for this week. Next week, I'll hit 4 out of 5. Okay, now it's time to scale up my target to get the $500 or 500-yard target, which would be like 15 to 20 points. That's rare. That's rare. Me myself, I've only hit probably 20 plus points, maybe 3 or 4 times this year. But guess what?
Okay.
I've hit 10 to 15 a lot of times. And if you scale down 5 to 10 points, you're gonna hit that every day.
Okay. Okay. And okay, then my question is, what's the strategy behind that one? Like increasing my contract to 8. Like what's the psychology there? What is the benefit?
To be able to manage the amount of money you're gonna be making and losing because 8
Okay.
contracts. Let's not hope you lose, right? But
Yeah.
if you're gonna take 8
Losing, that's not
contracts
my plan.
to be a great winner, you got to be a great loser. You got to see that red. So visualize your stop, right? If you keep the same stop,
Mhm.
let's say I keep my same stop right here. Let's say I got in on this big red candle right here. And I keep my same stop. With 4 contracts, that's $200. That's just hypothetical numbers, right?
Yeah.
But if I keep the same stop with 8 contracts, guess what? That's $600 or $400
Mhm.
instead of 2. And you're not going to be used to seeing that big red. You're like, fuck, I got to close. I got to stop out. But the whole psychology of it is you've had 4 or 5 weeks of building up your account. So you can take a bigger loss or a bigger stop. Instead of the usual 200, I can take $400-600 stop loss because guess what? I have an extra 25 grand in my account or whatever it is.
Okay.
And then because if you see that $400 red live, you're going to fucking get scared and you're going to get nervous and you're going to click the button, which you don't want to do. You want to be able to see for 800 red. You've seen me, I've seen $7,000 red. And I've came back and I've came back green.
From the dead. You came back from the dead. Okay, so
Because
then
I'm
my
used to seeing big reds from my small count. You know, I don't put you know how you can click on the trader chart and then it'll change from money to ticks to percentage or whatever.
Mhm.
I only leave it in ticks. So I've seen 15-point ticks. So I was like, I know that's a lot of fucking money. And when you look at your control panel, you're like, oh fuck, I'm down fucking 8 grand, 7 grand. But I can take that. I'm willing to take that. You know? But before that, I was only used to seeing $1,200 red. You know, so I
Okay.
slowly accumulated my tolerance. As if you're like, oh fuck, this is not coming back. On my small account, when I was up, you know, when I built it up to 3,200 and I seen 1,200 red, that was a huge fucking loss. That's almost 50% of my account. It's almost like I'm starting over.
Okay.
But
All right.
I'm not. This is sim, so I need you to practice this so you can see the red. And when you see that red, stick to your stop loss, because that was one of my biggest issues, was seeing that big red
Mm-hmm.
and not stopping out.
Okay.
Bag holding, bag holding.
So
And it's
stick to
like
the stop loss.
stick to your top loss no matter what. You don't want to bag
Okay.
hold of, 15, 20 point loser until you have
Okay.
like $500,000 and you can tolerate that.
Mm. Yeah, a
That's
half a
that's
million dollar.
that that
I
that is a
wish.
psychology. That is a psychology behind it.
Okay. Perfect.
Um. So yeah, scale up for next week. Stick to your same 10-point target or whatever. Larger
Hey,
targets. I
hey,
would say
hey.
7 to 10 points. Try to stick to that.
Okay.
Try to shoot. So like that, you can tell the difference between a 5-point play, 4 to 6 point play, and a 7 to 10 point play. You need to be able to tell the difference. You need to be like, okay, I can get in this. It's a counter trend trade. I know that I can get 4 to 6 points. That's my target. And then let's say the next day it's a short day. So you're like, okay, this is a with trend trade. So I should be able to hit 10 points. Let me wait for my setup.
Yeah, you got it. You got it. Next week I'll play with 8 contract, which
And
to me sounds
eventually
crazy, but
you
yeah.
eventually you want to scale up to 8 or 10, right?
Yeah, of course, for sure. I mean, yeah. Yeah. I
If
don't know
you're
in how many
scaling
years
up
from
to
now, but yes, I do.
8 to 10, it
Mm.
took me 2.5 years to go up to ES and scale up to 10 contracts. I've
Okay.
traded 12 and 14 contracts on my account where
Mm.
you can make fucking 2 grand in like a minute.
Mm. All
Imagine
right.
that. You can make 2 grand, 3 grand in fucking 5 minutes. I want to consistently hit that shit like every single trade, every single day.
Yeah, that'll be good.
That's where
That'll be good.
we'll be making big moves. But
Mm.
yeah, awesome trading. I like that you scaled up your targets. Your trading is getting more easier. Another thing that you need to practice is, like you said, not timing the entry, but
Mhm.
trying to correlate the 1 minute to the 5 and the 30 and the 15 or whatever chart
Okay.
you use. So
Yeah.
remember, take it in steps. If you see something on the 1 minute, check your 5 and the 30 or the 5, 15, and 30.
All right. Until I see a divergence and bam.
Exactly. Be patient.
Okay.
Remember,
Got
be a
it.
sniper, not a duck hunter.
Okay. Okay. Got it. Not a duck hunter. Perfect. Thank you.
You know why, right? Because duck hunters use shotguns. Snipers use
Yeah.
sniper rifles.
Sniper is one what? One hit, one kill.
Yeah, one shot, one kill.
Yeah, one shot, one kill. There you go. That's all I need. One shot, one kill.
And like you said it, you hit your fucking target with one fucking trade. It can be done.
Mm.
That's another psychology trick where you're like, I mean, look at me. I started with the MES. You're like, fuck, I'm never gonna get fucking $600 in one day.
Mhm.
A year ago, I was hitting that shit in my 1 or 2 trades. But before then, I was like, fuck, only Brandon can do that. No,
Mhm.
anybody can do that. You just have to have the right psychology and the right strategy that fits your trading style. And this is just for anybody. I don't know, YouTube, whoever watches this video. Um,
Mhm.
that's one of the best things of BRT, boiler room trading, is at boiler room trading, we have probably 4, 5, 6 strategies that we can use. We have an anchor VWAP, we have trend lines, we have moving averages, we have fib levels, we have hidden fib levels, um, and a bunch of other ones. Now another trader, another member, he's gonna introduce Keltner bands. And that's what I love about BRT is we collectively come together and we trade as a team, even though we all have our own trading strategy. We learn each other's strategy so we can know, we can see the charts from a different perspective. There's some chat rooms, some trading rooms out there that only have one specific strategy and they want you to use that specific strategy. And something that I've noticed um, through the time that I've been here at BRT is that we have adapted to the market. And that's something that I see in my job, in my daily job, which is IT. In IT, you know how the saying goes: if you don't if you don't stay up with the technology, you're gonna become obsolete.
That's right.
That's the same thing with trading. If you don't if you don't keep up with trading, you're gonna become obsolete because guess what? There's a new strategy coming out every year. Everybody has their own style, and somebody's gonna resonate with that style. It's either gonna help you or resonate with that style. Um,
Oh, oh, that was Pete. Let's check.
what did he say?
No, he just sent me something for me to, it's something that volume leaders.
Oh yeah, yeah, that Twitter guy.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's something that I've noticed about Brandon is that he's adapted his his base strategy, his fundamental strategy to a bear market. Because when we first started elites, it was a bull market and it was a lot easier and our charts were a lot cleaner, where it wasn't so all kinds of moving averages and indicators on there. It was just trend lines and 3 moving averages. That was it. And volume. He slowly added all these other tools. Why? Because the indicators just see them as a training wheel. At one point, maybe 20 years from now, if we're all still trading, we're just going to be able to see the chart with no naked chart with no indicators or anything. We're going to be able to see
Yeah.
it. But right now, we need those training wheels to help us see that price action. If we can't see that price action, then you're not going to be able to make a decisive trade analysis or trade prediction or forecast. That's something that the moving averages is awesome at is you can forecast out like the next day or the next week, especially using the 10 and the 50 SMA, the 200 and the 666. Those are all good moving averages that help you kind of forecast. It's like, you know, the weather, man. He uses a that whatever that map is or whatever, and
Mm-hmm.
it shows the clouds moving over the state, right? But it's like 2 days out or 3 days out, like when a hurricane comes. They're using forecasting because it's like they're using a moving average. They're seeing the tornado. Oh, it's coming up to Florida. It's gonna go up the Gulf, or it's gonna go off the east coast of Florida. That's what they use computers for. That's what we
Yeah.
use moving averages for, so we can forecast what the possible move might be. So whether you're price action trader, moving average trader, supply and demand trader, uh, fair value gap trader, guess what? I've studied all of them, and
Yes.
they all line up. They all line up. But the main thing in common that all the strategies have in common is they all wait for confirmation. If you could learn confirmation, you're one step closer to becoming consistent. That was the hardest thing that I had trouble with, was trusting that confirmation. I would always get FOMO, but if you can develop and strategize with that confirmation, you're going to be that much more ahead of everybody else. Confirmation, psychology are two of the biggest things that I think all new traders should concentrate on. And finding your strategy. And finding your strategy. No matter what strategy you use, they all have the same principle, is that confirmation. So, with that being said, does anybody have any other trades? Lasagna Cat, you want to chime in? Anybody have questions?
I don't got any recap slides today, but I've learned a lot from Easy's. This is a great, you had great recaps today.
Awesome.
Yeah, I was really able to zone in on what you were doing. It's awesome. It's a nice. It's fairly simple, you know, and a lot of the indicators that I watch line up with it, so it's good.
Yep. Yeah, they all line up. I'm glad that it's helping other members, other traders. That's basically what I built this subgroup for, is to, we got our master teachers, Connor, Dave, and Connor teaching us. But sometimes you just need that extra help of somebody who's been around for a little bit, has a little bit more in-depth knowledge, and can help us strategize and tune up your strategy. And you know, I think I'm doing that pretty well. I'm not trying to
You're doing a good job.
Yeah.
not
You're
trying
doing
to
a good
toot
job
my own
right
horn, but I want to see Lasagna Cat and Easy make 6 figures in the next year or two.
Oh yeah, buddy. We want.
I was counting on the next month. I'm like, okay, sure.
Don't get ahead of yourself. Don't get ahead of yourself.
But how many weeks do I have left, by the way?
3. You got 3 more weeks.
3 more weeks. Oh my God. Okay. I'll be patient.
I mean, do you want to cut it down? We could cut it down.
No.
to 10.
Hey,
week.
listen, you're the teacher, right? I'm the
Next
student.
week
That's
it'll
all.
be. You're pretty much there, dude.
I'm the student. That's all.
You're
I'll
pretty much
follow it.
there.
All right.
If it takes 10 weeks, everybody's learning curve is different. I figured 2 to 3 months would be more than enough.
Okay.
30 days, you're barely, 4 weeks in, we had your strategy figured out, and we figured out what type of player you were.
Wow, it's already been 2 months.
Exactly, but look at how far you've come. Remember,
I did.
At the end of this, we're gonna see your first, the first screenshot you showed me. Oh my goodness! See what you're doing now. I mean, your first chart had it was like this, but it had like 20 trades, and I was like, "Whoa, what the heck are you doing?"
Yeah, that was trading every tick.
That was that would have been like $300 in commissions. Like Jesus,
easily. But yeah,
I was like,
thanks,
okay,
thanks.
I know where I need to work on.
Well, that's good. At least you're like, show me your screen. Boom.
Hey, but guess what? Showing your screen keeps you accountable, right?
Yeah, exactly. It does.
And that's another thing that helped me. I don't know if it helped Lasagna Cat, but it sure as hell helped me showing my screenshots and showing my trades, is like that I'm not talking bullshit,
Yeah,
You guys are seeing my trades.
It reminds me of how when I was first showing screenshots in this group, my entries looked completely different. Like my entries, if you watch my videos for this, the ones when it was my turn to go through this, you could see in the first episodes that my entries were way too early and way too high for going long. And then as the process moved, you could see on my screenshots, as the weeks went by, you could see on my screenshots, the entries just got better and better. And then they became much more consistently in the pocket of like the first leg entry or the second leg entry, combined with like a nice fib pocket as well.
Yep.
Right on.
Cool.
Okay.
So we'll call it there. Yeah. Thanks for sharing. Thanks for participating in this. Thanks everybody for stopping by. We'll have a couple more weeks and then Easy right here will be set free, ready to go. Ready to
Alright, next week I'm running 8 contracts. Yeah, that is
Hey.
crack to me, but okay.
Right on.
we'll
Easy.
get you there. We'll get you there.
Perfect.
We're always here to freaking help you out. So whenever you
Thanks.
guys have any questions, any issues, hey, shoot the question so we can. I'm sure you're not the only one with that question. And just like with Brandon, we've asked him probably the same question 100 different times, and guess what?
He
Every
answers
time
every
is
time.
the answer is different every time, but guess what? Every time there's a little nugget. And that's what you want to find. You want to be a little gold miner finding these little nuggets. You want to find the little nuggets so you'd be like, oh, okay. You start having those aha moments. That's when you start becoming consistent. Yeah, everybody have a great weekend, great trading, and see you guys on Monday.
Thank you.
All right. See y'all.
See y'all.